So this is CSF's new radiator for the 944. They base it around the 944 turbo radiator, which is a little taller, which gives you a lot more cooling capacity. There's a shroud on the back, nice aluminum shroud, and small twin fans here. So because I'm using this car for rally, I don't want to lower the brackets and sit the radiator down a little bit. There's still a good amount of space, it'd probably be safe, but in the case where I go off course, I don't want to smash a radiator. So since I have to intercool it anyway with the turbo setup going on, I'm going to move it back a little bit, put the intercooler in front of it, and then hopefully I'll be able to go up a little bit higher or lean it back a little bit to get enough space. I just ordered this generic off-the-shelf aftermarket intercooler thing. Took some quick measurements. In hindsight, should have paid attention more because it doesn't fit. Always keep in mind, they usually give you core dimensions, which are not including the tanks. So when you're in a rush and you're just trying to order stuff, you can order one where the core fits the size of your radiator great, and the tanks protrude past it, which are wider than your frame rails allow. So this doesn't fit. So now I have the correct size intercooler. So measure twice, order once. Don't do what I did. This now lines up nicely with the CSF radiator here. So we're gonna make some brackets. I'm gonna push the radiator back just a little bit, just so I have some space for the intercooler, and try to shroud it all together nice so that all the air is going through both coolers really nicely. So that'll be the next project. Once I get mounts figured out, we'll start on some of the charge piping, get that sorted out in the engine bay, get it at least tacked together. I have to cut the outlet off the turbo, weld a little 90 on it. So do that because the space is kind of tight. Then yeah. I don't need to play with it for a while. So, I cut the end off my new turbo because my manifold's kind of like directly in the way, and so is the frame rail and everything else. So I'm going to weld a little 90 on it, but it's still too close to the manifold. So then I got this, well, another elbow. I'm going to try to bring it down a little bit with this guy. I don't think this is going to make any sense to anybody else. And then I got to step up from 2" to 2.5, because all of my other intercooler piping is 2.5. So rather than do it all with silicone couplers, I'm just going to use just normal straight 2.5" silicone couplers everywhere and make it all out of the aluminum on the turbo. this knockoff blow-off valve, and this notch was made for 2-inch tube, but I have 2.5-inch tube. So I gotta keep trimming away kind of the high spots here until the arc matches the 2.5. But I'm not putting it just on a straight portion of the 2.5, I'm putting it on the outside of a bend. So it's a little bit different. You kind of have to watch what you're trimming so that it matches nice. I found it easier with these to weld it on. Once I get it fitting nice, I'll weld it on, and then I'll drill the hole after the fact through this port. So then the hole saw is not bouncing around, and it's exactly where I need it to be. And it's, you know, a couple degrees doesn't make much difference as far as where I weld it, but I can kind of see that from here. But if I drill that hole just a couple degrees one way or the other, it's really hard to tell if it's misaligned, and then you're kind of screwed as to where this goes. So I find it easier to just weld it on, and then I'll drill the hole after I weld it. Enough for what it's for. Meh. Obviously, the part that came out pretty is the bottom, because that's what happens every single time. The ugly start stops, that's the top. That'll be visible. So to get my coolant tubes, I'm going to do it all out of hard piped aluminum. So there will be a rubber connection at the back because it's going to expand and contract. And then there'll be a rubber connection from the front of the block down to the radiator. But where it is near the manifold, and I'm going to try to make some nice tabs that bolt it to the side of the block, I want that all hard piped. So I got a bunch of 1.5 inch aluminum and some 90s, and I'm going to make that all one piece. So one of the difficulties of this swap is it was originally a front-wheel drive motor. So it was mounted the other direction, and that caused one of the water outlets to be at the back of the cylinder head. So one of the radiator hoses, you know, if the engine were mounted normally, just be on the side of the head and go to the radiator, which is great. But now it's back there in an uncomfortable position. To combat the whole issue of that being in the back, the Boost Brothers Garage Kit comes with a really nice cast aluminum water neck that's on the back of the head that routes the hoses in a much friendlier manner. And they give you a couple options with their kit for different hoses that work out pretty nice. I wanted all my hoses to be hard piped where they're difficult to get to under the intake. I didn't want it to chafe or kind of be in the way of me changing an oil filter or anything. The one that goes from the back of the head and around the corner here, I just cut short and made this hard pipe here that bolts to the top of all the accessory brackets here. And then I commandeered one of these timing cover bolts in the back, or cylinder head bolts, and just kind of welded up a nice little bent out of the way hose. Used the lathe and made some little bungs on the end here so that my hose won't come off. You always want to at least bead roll an edge or something. That's what we do with all the charge pipes, but this tube was a little too big if I bead rolled it for this size hose, so I turned a little adapter. They use an adapter to go to the 1.8T thermostat housing neck, which is cool. This is one of our ECS cast aluminum necks for the 1.8T. I cut it off here Like the water neck would come up here, and it actually put it in a pretty nice position, but I wanted to try to route it out of the way of this hose. So I cut it off here and kind of worked it around and down low, because this will be my lower radiator hose. That's the majority of my coolant plumbing figured out. So while we're doing radiator and intercooler stuff, I'm trying to tackle all the other things in that area. So part of that is, you know, both air intake and the fog lights. So I punched a bunch of holes in the nose here, both because it'll kind of go towards cooling and it'll open up an area that wasn't available previously for an air intake. So all this used to have a big shroud that went between here that I cut out, so that air wasn't going from what was a dead zone. You know, there was nothing there. There's no reason for it to try to make it that way. But now that I have some holes here, I can channel that upwards through here, and then I'm gonna make an air box in this vicinity for things. So I've got these killer Hella LED floodlights. I have 4 of them. So these look awesome, and they're a ton of light. We were playing with one in the office the other day. So I mocked all these up, kind of figured out my hole spacing to make it all symmetrical. And then one of my biggest pet peeves about lighting like that is if you're going down a trail or something, or in this case, in a stage rally car, you're gonna be hitting a ton of bumps. I don't like seeing the beam pattern kind of bounce and jiggle along with the fluctuations in the road. Like, you know, if you're mounting a location soft and it's kind of doing that the whole time. And not even that, you can fatigue and crack your mounts. So I made a bunch of aluminum bracketries to help reinforce that. These side ones are also kind of like some shrouding, so that'll prevent air from kind of going around the radiator and air intake and like coming out the side. They're solid, so it has to go that way through these holes. And then the center one has some speed holes in it because it should be light. It's supposed to be a race car. Intake. So I'm making a little intake box here for a couple different reasons. Like, obviously I could put a filter down on the turbo, but being a rally car, I don't want it close to ground with dirt and gravel and all that stuff that's going to be kicked up from the tires or dust from a car in front of me. I'd like to kind of protect that and keep it clean longer. So I'm going to make a little air intake box over here so I can get fresh air through these cuts in this upper radiator support. And then I'm going to shroud it to the hood. So it'll be a nice little box that kind of touches the hood and seals nice so that I'm not getting a bunch of hot engine bay air as well. And then I'm going to use just one of our ECS cone filters here. It's a really nice high quality filter. I have some tube and a filter, and I got to try to get down there somewhere. I'm thinking of getting the filter basically in this vicinity, then have this tube go down yonder. I have another one of these aluminum tubes, so I'm going to cut an angle out of it to get it down to the turbo there. My cardboard pretend mock-up here. So I'm just playing with bits of cardboard to do this. It's just kind of a simple, straightforward way if you're going to be making a bunch of changes. But I'm only making one of these, and it's relatively straightforward. So I also like kind of playing both ends of the spectrum here. So all day I do the CAD work. Here I'm kind of keeping my mind in a different space, kind of doing the creative outlet of playing with bits of cardboard. I'm going to do something like that. There's a cone filter there-ish. Then I have to cut this other side to get to the tube. I've done some things over the weekend that I didn't film much of, and I apologize. Yes, I've mounted the Hella driving lamps, which is great, and then my brackets work so that they don't shake all over the place. I still have to aim them and all that. They're just on for show and tell at the moment, but you get the idea. Then I made intake things. I made this heat shield, which took quite a bit of trial and error, but it has to go over the headlight pop-up adjuster rod thing that's across here, that actuator. So I had to bolt it to the top of this, bend it up, bend it back down so I have enough space for the filter, and then back up and over. It does go like right up against the hood all the way around. I'm gonna put a seal on it, I just haven't yet. do that once it's all going back together the last time. But I'll do a bulb seal around both these to keep it nice and sealed. I've got little drain holes in the corner here. I spent a fair amount of time trying to get the tube right, and only because the filter is very close to this rib in the hood. I was trying to avoid trimming it, but it's like right there. Just barely almost touches. So it does close, which took me a while. I welded on this little tab here on the back too, so that mounts up pretty good. And I put a little bend in it so that I can put the bulb seal around here. That way that'll clip on nice still. That goes right down to the turbo. It like barely clears the pipe welded on the turbo, which is why I had that step afterwards to step it up to 2.5. If the whole thing was 2.5, I wouldn't have had that space. We're very rapidly running out of space in the engine bay on this. All right, so that brings us up to speed on all the intercooler plumbing, charge piping, radiator, fog lights, kind of all that plumbing in the engine bay. Next up, we're gonna transition into the start of the cage build, which is a pretty big project. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. It actually makes a big difference to us. And you can follow me on Instagram at Mike the Day to see more updates on projects like these, and follow us on ECS Tuning on Instagram as well.